Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And it appears that investor sentiment has changed. We are at a pivotal part in the market right now, and it looks like greed is starting to take over. So, I know, seems odd because, we are very short here. We're thinking everything's going to crash. So, a lot of people who watch this all think it's going to crash. However, we are now in the minority. We're going to take a look.
Mm.
Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. Did you know sentiment was changing?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've come down a lot in terms of valuation, so maybe that helps support a little bit of change in sentiment. But in terms of where we're still going, the Fed still has a lot of unwinding to do and a lot of interest rate hiking to do, I think. But that's just me.
I agree. We're gonna take a look at some pretty interesting things that I was noticing. So we're gonna look at Buffett's kind of greed versus fear here. So
Hmm.
real quick, everyone already knows this. Jobs data just came in at 261K jobs. It was lower than the 315 previously thought, but above the 200K, which was a consensus. Unemployment actually rose from 3.7. Sorry, from 3.5 to 3.7. They thought it'd be 3.6. And then we have a big day, November 10th, Consumer Price Index. Okay?
Yep.
Huge day.
Huge.
So I've been day trading and I've been noticing that the VIX has been going down quite a bit, even though the
Mhm.
market was also kind of going down and going sideways. And usually when the
Yeah.
market drops, it's the opposite. All right?
Hmm.
So here we have the 50-day moving average and the VIX, and you can see that if you just look at it from the beginning of 2022, we are coming down to a point where there's it's borderline neutral to
Okay.
slightly not fearful. All right?
Hmm.
Meaning, even though there's 2% swings constantly and all this stuff, it's almost like people like don't care anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if people forgot that like a 2% swing on the SPY does not happen often, let alone 4 days a week. Like,
Yeah. The Friday, the intraday chart was crazy, huh? Like, did you day
wild.
trade at all on Friday? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wild.
it's absolutely crazy. This is the fear greed gauge, and we have actually hit greed. And
Mm.
if you had looked at this in June, we were at like extreme fear, and people are starting to think that the bottom was put in, and
Hmm.
that Friday, because we formed a big hammer, that's it. We're going straight up from here. It's no secret. I think we're short. All right, but we're going to take a look at some very important things here.
Yeah.
We're also this is just a different indicator, but we're coming up to extreme greed ish, and this is a
Wow.
put call ratio. All right,
Okay.
it's getting back to more normal even values where before everyone was shorting. Now, if you look in our comments, it still seems like a lot of people are shorting, right? Because we're short.
Okay.
So people
Yeah.
who are watching us, no one clicks on a video with an opposing point of view, right?
Yeah. Understood.
It kind of is what it is. It's not great. I'm gonna have you. We're gonna look at the most important thing, in my opinion, here, the graph. And before that, Vinny's gonna explain something here.
Oh
What's this?
boy. uh, you see this chart all the time, basically, but the whole idea is that it's designed to kind of reflect like a typical pattern of emotions related to like the stock chart life cycle, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Capitulation. What's capitulation?
It's just giving up. That's ultimately what it is. It's when you just go ahead and like go to the nursing home when you're in your 40s. I've met people that have done that. They capitulated that life. That's
Okay.
capitulation.
In terms of stock, it's just when it usually has a rate of velocity of just tanking. It's usually quite quickly, and it's usually a fairly dramatic movement. All right. We're gonna look at 2000 and 2008. All right. Now, before I explain this, these two pink lines are called EMA averages, so not small moving
Mhm.
average. So everyone knows I'm really big on the 200 small moving average. That's just 200 days average. And EMA puts more emphasis on the more recent days than the last days. So it's
Mhm.
more reactive. it'll move with you quicker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The dotted line is a 9, meaning only 9 day, and the solid pink is the 20. All right. To get far off from the 9, or you can see the distance, this green to the farthest point on this graph to where the 9 is, it's quite
Mm-hmm.
small. This is the Qs during the 2000 crash. All right. Now, obviously, distance between how far the chart is or how zoomed in you are changes this, right? But you can see this would be the capitulation event. It was kind of minor because the SPY was a little bit worse. Here's the SPY during that time. Look how far off we are for the actual. Here, can you see my mouse? There we go.
Yeah, I can see it from the 9 EMA there.
Exactly. So this is 9 EMA. This is the low point. If you see the values, this is like 107 to 91. That's 10% plus off of this graph. And this measurement is very reactive. It's supposed to follow quite closely. All right.
Yeah.
Here, another one. This is 75 to 90. That's over 15-ish% off the 9 EMA. Okay. That's a lot. Let's look at 2008. All right. This is real far, 35 to 28. Look how far that is from the 9 EMA. We did it again, and you can just see how fast this dropped. This whole thing is 2 months.
So this is a good indicator in retrospect to show that you maybe have hit capitulation, it seems like, based upon what you're showing me so far.
Not retrospect, because the EMA, which I'm going to show you, is still real time. So here's a SPY, same thing. This was more than 20% off. Okay, that's a lot. Here we are right now. Okay, our farthest point from the EMA is this 360 to 390. It's actually about 368. It's not even 10%. This does not look like a tanking market to me. Now, this is a weekly. That's important to know. All those charts were weeklies. But we really haven't gotten far from the 9 EMA. We haven't really had a scary tanking moment. I didn't even show COVID because it's hilarious. It's like 50% off. It's not good.
That one was so fast.
Yeah,
exactly.
Way too fast. You can say the Qs were a little bit worse, but I mean, still, we're talking 250 to 278. It's not a lot. We're not. It's not falling like previous crashes have. So it's either we're getting to a point where we're going to go sideways and then go back up, or we're getting to a point where capitulation is about to happen, which we have greed right now, where people are thinking that the bottom's in. They could be entering positions, and then you never know what's going to happen. I tried to look at insider buying and insider selling. It's not reliable because all the indicators that you look at all use different data. You can look at volume. You can look at weekly volume based on going down and up, and it's not really changing a lot. If you click on articles saying like, "Oh, insiders are buying," there's no evidence that they're just saying that. So that would be a good addition. I didn't really find a reliable source, but to me, we haven't really crashed. We've just been kind of stumbling downwards. I don't think we have a capitulation.
There's a great Burry quote that I was trying to find for this really quickly, that where he talked about, he's like, people think we've just heard a starting gun, where in fact it may be the death knell. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were maybe making me think of as I'm kind of reading this.
There you go. All right, Burry. God, he's the man.
Right there.
You got it.
Did you all just mishear a death knell as a starting gun?
There you go. Okay, so that's essentially what I'm saying here. We haven't hit it. We're not even far off of the EMAs compared to all of the crashes. You can go back to the 80s, by the way. It's the same. It's at least 20% off 9. So that's the wrong button. What do you think?
No, I kind of agree. I don't think we've seen any capitulation events here right now. But we all trade differently. I'm still buying stuff when I can on my way down that have hit my buy prices. That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter if I'm in a market capitulation or not, but my short term kind of bias is still bearish.
Yeah, I am very short, right? I'm never gonna say I'm thinking we're short and not back that up with money like every other finance YouTuber, right? Um, so I'm still quite short. We'll have to see what happens, but yeah, I don't think we've had a capitulation event. I think that we've had some very, very odd price action the last 2 weeks. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, I know. Catch you in the next one.